Hi beauty fam, I am doing a video of my faves of 2021 and it's a lot, but I actually breezed through a lot of it, so it's not a super long video compared to my others, and a lot of these you've seen reviews either from me or other content creators, so stick around if you want to see my faves of 2021. Lisa Eldridge just knocked it out of the park this year, and she is an amazing makeup artist, and on top of that, her color curation and pigmentation, she is just a treasure because she knows so much about the history of makeup. Number one, my favorite unique lipstick color of this year is Cinnabar, and it's what I have on today. And I just love this color. I don't have anything like this in my collection, and I have never seen a dupe of this. But even if there is a dupe of Lisa Eldridge, what is unique about her formulas are that they are so pigmented that if you can go on Feather Light and it almost looks like a different color, and you can go medium and then heavy, and then it's just such a joy to work with her lipsticks. So I have almost all her Velvet lipsticks. Cinnabar is one to get for sure. She also came out with a lot of her lip glosses this year, and the two new ones that I liked the most again were Cinnabar, which is what I also have mixed in today with the Velvet matte lipstick, and then Dragon, just because it's such a unique color. Orangey red color, so by itself is just gorgeous. So if you're interested in any of Lisa Eldridge, you can't go wrong with picking any of her Velvet lipsticks or glosses. So lipsticks are really hard for me to pick because I think there's different shades and then different mattes and shimmers and not only colors, but just textures on what you're looking for. So Dior knocked it out of the park this year. Dior just, especially during the holidays, they just crushed it with all the holiday collections. And this was in the holiday collection. This is Dior Winter Poppy, and it's this beautiful pinky red. And I just love it, and it's super matte. So I wore that during the holidays when I didn't have to wear a mask around family. And then also part of the Dior releases, they released the Diorific lipsticks, these were the first time I ended up using these, and they're fantastic. I really love Rouge Cappuccine. It's this orangey color, just beautiful, creamy. And then I really love the Taupe Ispahan, which to me was like an everyday kind of rosewood color. But it was just the quality of these lipsticks that were just beautiful. And let me go ahead and swatch. Let me swatch Velvet Cinnabar for you for Lisa Eldridge so you have a context of what that looks like. So it's a little bit, it's not the same as the Cappuccine. It's like this, on my skin tone, it turns out this like really, brown orange, which I really love. I definitely have to use the liner because it would start to bleed out. Another lip product that I really love this year was Suqqu. And it's, I forget the name of it, but it's a 04, and it's like this beautiful brown color, and you can tell I have a type, brown with a little bit of orange in it, and I have not found a color like this. And so again, my marker was if I lost it tomorrow or if it was destroyed, I would probably go out and hunt and find it. And I love the Suqqu Lip Fog and Glow formula, and this is my favorite out of the many that I have. My last lip products that I really love this year, and I don't want to have to choose one because I know that I gravitate for all 4 of these, and it was a surprise to me, are the BYREDO shimmering lipsticks. Now, I had gotten so many of the BYREDO matte and satin lipsticks about 1.5 years ago, and I actually had to get rid of them because the perfume smell that BYREDO puts in their cosmetics, at least those lipsticks, were way too much for me. Beautiful pigmentation. So I would highly recommend, if you're not bothered by perfume in makeup, BYREDO makes the most beautiful pigmented edgy lipstick colors. Now I think Lisa Eldridge is like my favorite because they're just like classic colors that could be used every day, but there was something about these BYREDO lipsticks and the color curation. I think Isamaya French is maybe one of their makeup artists or creative directors there, and she's edgy, so she pushes the envelope on the colors, and they're just beautiful editorial looks. And these shimmer lipsticks I just reach for them a lot. They do have a little bit of perfume, but for some reason they didn't bother me as much. So you can see here there's some glitter sheen, but it's not the glitter that that would bother you. So Pat McGrath had some that I think she started pulling them from the shelves and discontinued, that had glitter in them, and it would end up being, you could feel it on your lips, but these you cannot. So this is Feverish. Damson Jam, which I reach for a lot. It's this beautiful plummy color. And this is Amber and Furs. Via Rose. This is Via Rose. So just really beautiful colors. And for me, it's hard to find, it's very rare for someone to release a collection and then all of the colors actually look good on my tan skin tone. And these ended up working for me. So highly recommend. And this is the packaging. It's a heavy metal, gold on top, silver on the bottom, and it's got this curved design and like an ASMR moment. There's a magnet. Super weighty, super luxe. BYREDO is definitely a luxury company to watch. I'm just really interested to see what else they come out with in 2022. So next up, I'm going to show the 2 foundations that I love the most this year. If you've been watching some of my videos, you probably know which ones are my favorites. I really love this Cle De Peau Radiant Fluid Natural Foundation Natural in O40. And I love this so much that I got my winter shade in this color and then a summer shade. It's just, to me, this reminds me of when people went nuts over the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation. That unfortunately didn't work for me, but this is radiant and just so beautiful. And the color is spot on. Now I know this didn't work for everybody. This didn't work for them. The Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate worked for them. So if you want a beautiful luxury, just like a really beautiful finish, Cle De Peau is beautiful, like the radiant. And they have a matte one, which I didn't get along with. Just, I love this radiant glow. So highly recommend this one. And then of course, Lisa Eldridge's Seamless Skin Foundation in 17. And I have a couple of videos with that, and I can link it up below. And I'll link all the videos I have which featured any of the products that I'm talking about today. But I just love this foundation. It is so unique. Now I know that this did not work for everybody as well. I have aging skin, eczema, and rosacea and texture here. And I was really skeptical if this foundation would work because you don't need a lot. Well, it surprised me. And this is the wonderful thing, is that this is self-setting, and I would be wear testing this, and I would find after 30 minutes, it would just self-set and just look glorious. And then 45 minutes and then an hour would pass by and it would look even better. So, and throughout the day, it just, my skin looks even better with this. So, you know, I would hate to have to pick which one I like more, but if you're asking me, I actually love this Lisa Eldridge more than this. Like, again, my marker is if it disappeared tomorrow, if I lost it, for some reason got destroyed or went missing, what would I really be upset with? It would probably be the Lisa Eldridge I'd be really upset with. Also, this is really spendy. I think this is like $60, $65. This is like $125, but I got this on sale. But I definitely love this product. Love it, love it, love it. Moving along to highlighters and liquid highlighters. I'm a person that prefers liquid balmy highlighters. And that just has to do with my texture. For some reason, unless it's a gel highlighter, it usually doesn't get along with my skin and I end up having a lot of texture here. And in fact, I did not put any highlighter on today. So the 2 highlighters I really love this year are the Chanel or Ivoire highlighter, and then again Lisa Eldridge's Seamless Skin Elevated Glow in the color Solar Light. I love these products, and so I think, you know, when it's not shaken, you can see how much I used of this. But let me do a little bit of a comparison of this on one side. And I just love how it's like a lit from within glow. Went too low a little bit here. This is not to be meant to be used all over, I think, like under your foundation. And that's what I remember her saying. But this you could, I tried it once and it was way too, it was just too much. It was too greasy. But this is the consistency of the Or Ivoire. And this is Solar Light. Let me do a swatch of that next to it. So one is clearly warmer than the other. So the Lisa Eldridge is a little bit warmer apricot, and this is a little bit lighter. So I use them for different things. This is the Chanel is a little less tackier and it's a different technology. So they both go a long way. This one is a little bit lighter. This one's a little bit more golden. So it depends on like what kind of look I want. And a little goes a long way. I just love these products. So if you're a person who loves liquid highlighters, I would highly recommend these two products. So the two lip liners, I have to say, usually these don't make my list, but because they were so special and they came out this year, I wanted to highlight them. Again, are the Lisa Eldridge lip liners. Really love Affair and Decade. Decade because it's kind of like my perfect brown, which is so easy on a lot of different lipsticks that I use. And then I really love Affair because to me, for my skin tone, it's like the perfect neutral. So I have a lot of neutrals that are brown, like dark brown and light brown. So those are wonderful. I've been reaching for those. One of my surprises of eyeliners this year was this Gucci pencil, and I thought it was overhyped. I have not liked a lot of Gucci products, but this one surprised me. This is in 05 Amethyst. Again, if this went missing out of my collection, I would be sad just because it's so unique. And now you might think, why can't you just get that in a Sephora eyeliner? Those are cheaper, or Urban Decay. I don't like those. There's something about the quality of this is really nice. And it's got a little bit of sparkle in there. Let's see. My favorite eyebrow pencil this year was the Jones Road Brown. And it's got these little fibers in there. I don't know if you can see it. There's like little fibers in this pencil, and I actually use it today, and I just love it. It's with those little fibers, there's just like enough tack that it lifts, that it gets in the eyebrows. And we know that bushy eyebrows are on trend, so I really love this Makeup by Mario Master Hold Brow Gel. So it's got this really cool brush where one side of it, the top side here, you can see it's shorter bristles, and then the other side is long. So, and it's clear, and it just highlights it just pushes up my eyebrows. It has enough lift and fullness that it works for me. So I've tried two other products that didn't work, and this has been glorious. This product has really, and I almost didn't get this because I thought it was very gimmicky, and then it changed my mind. Pat McGrath Intensifies Artistry Wand. And I tried glitter glue and different brands, and that didn't work for me. I just have hooded lids, and sometimes it doesn't stay and it just builds and creases. This was a game changer. So a lot of you might know Pat McGrath. Her special shades a lot of times have fallout, but this has been the game changer in not just the Pat McGrath special shades, but almost all of my eyeshadow collection. So whenever I have shimmers where I'm going to be worried about there being fallout, I just grab for this. So this is a top shelf item. If this was gone tomorrow, I would definitely pick that up. I mean, these are curated for me who mostly leans luxury beauty and skincare, aging skin, hooded eyelids, and obviously tan brown skin. So these are going to be curated for me, of my color story, of what's going to look good on me, and also my skin texture. And that, I have a lot of makeup on today. I'm wear testing this Cle De Peau foundation, but I'm always looking for products that are going to work on me who has sensitive skin and aging skin. So that's kind of giving you some context. So the two face products that I want to share with you that I really loved, and this is not new to the market, but new to me, is this Kevyn Aucoin Contour Powder. And the reason I'm highlighting it is because this has been a game changer for me. I've been trying to find the right contour shade for me for a very long time, and it wasn't until I read a review about this that I decided to get it. And now, yes, it's a little bit too deep for me, but it can be diffused. So I go with a light hand on it. So someone with a deeper and richer skin tone, you might want to think about this as a contour shade. And I definitely, again, go really, really light on it. And then I don't have it on today because I'm wear testing something, but I just love this, and it's been a game changer for me. So yes, it's small, but don't worry about it because it's so super pigmented. My favorite blushes of 2021, and I'll start with Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath came up with a bunch of new blushes, the Divine blushes, and if I had to pick one, it would definitely be Desert Blush. And this is such a unique color, and I reached for this a ton this summer when they first came out, and just really beautiful. And let me do a little swatch for you. I think it's just really beautiful for tan skin. It almost looks like a really light wash, but with some shimmer in it, but not emphasizing texture. So I love that blush. Definitely tan person friendly. Picking up one blush from Dior that I really love. And I'm sorry, I don't know if this is still available, but this is from the Birds of a Feather Dior collection, and it's blush 462. And sorry, that's a little bit too close. So it's got that beautiful embossing, but moreover, it's the color that's super unique. So let me swatch that for you. And it's this one right here. So it's like this like bright coral color that's just, it popped in the summer. I just love that blush. So if you're able to find it used anywhere, I would highly suggest picking that up. But I know for sure the Pat McGrath Divine Blush, I know for sure the Pat McGrath Divine Blush in Desert Orchid is available. So I would highly recommend picking that up. And they have a close dupe for this one too. They have such a wide variety of bright colors that are tan person and deep, rich skin friendly. So I would definitely check those out. And then now we are moving to the eye products. And I had a hard time slimming these down and I didn't want to say only one. So I'm just gonna go with what I have and I pulled aside. I have not reviewed these yet, but I love these Lisa Eldridge liquid Lyricses, and I'm hoping she comes out with more cool tones that are more cool tones, and then these are warm. And every single color that I've tried have been beautiful. I have hooded eyelids increasing, and I was just so surprised with these that they did not crease over time. I've been in transit. I put these on with my finger or with the doe foot that it comes with. It stays. It's like one and done, and it can be built up or just really a wash of color. And so I just love how versatile these are. So if you're interested in any of these, I would say pick the one that you like. Liza is the one that's kind of like the showstopper in terms of evening wear. I would use this as a smoky evening look, and the rest of these are kind of more daytime. But you know, some people use this during the day. It's not, you know, there's no rules to makeup, so you can do whatever you want. So just pick a color that speaks to you, and you're going to be happy with any of these. I'll link the look I did above that I did with Liza for this. So I'm going to start with the smaller quads first, and I really enjoyed and loved and went hard with this Star Aura palette. I love this palette. For me, Tom Ford First Frost palette did not work, but for some reason this one did. And I think it has to do with the formula. Now it is a wash of color, but there's something creamy and gel-like about this formula that I hope she does more of. And I just love it. So if you were looking for something that was kind of like First Frost of Tom Ford and that did not work for you, you might want to check that out. But I love that as like an easy wash of color, and I just love that color curation. And of course, I would have to talk about the Dior collection, Birds of a Feather. And the one quad that got me, and I'm so sorry if this is not available anymore, but it's the 459 Nightbird. And I remember seeing this, I think in the winter of 2020, and I remember seeing this. I mean, can you tell which is one of my favorite colors? It's this color. This is one of my favorite colors, obviously. So there's almost a shift to this. So you can see that it's teal here, but when I tilt it, there's actually a purple shift to it. So it's like a duochrome. I don't know if you can see it. So it's just lovely. I just love this palette. Love, love, love. And so if you can get the 459 Nightbird anywhere, I would highly recommend just picking it up if you can. I think it's sold out at this point. And Dior does that for sure. Like, it's not like Chanel where they say limited edition and then it's gone and there's stuff hanging around. And I've seen Chanel, sometimes you do that. There's like stuff on there that was limited edition and like they never sold out, so it's sitting there. But that's not the case with Dior. Like, if it's really going to be limited edition, it's gone. They don't bring it back. So just something to note when you're thinking about planning out your makeup purchases. I have to say my favorite Pat McGrath purchase this year, it's a quad, and it's this Venus Luxe Quad Voyeuristic Vixen Venus and Furs. And there's something about these shades here, this one in particular, actually all of these, they're just so gorgeous. Can you see that? And this is where having that Intensifies Eyes wand comes in handy because there is some fallout, but there's just something so beautiful about this. Do you see that color shift down there? This one is just, it's out of control. I just love it. So this is a palette that unfortunately it broke and I had to return it, but I was going hard on it. And it was the special shade that ended up breaking apart because Sephora was really heavy-handed in their delivering, or my delivery person. But that is definitely one of my top eyeshadow quads this year. And this could be an unpopular opinion, but this ended up being a surprise to me. I was underwhelmed at first, but then I saw it and I'm like, no, this is grungy glam. And this is just, you know, this is where I talk about, like, you never know what person's aesthetic, what they gravitate to. So I loved the NARS Climax palette. And this is the only NARS palette I own. I don't own any of the blush. I don't know. It didn't work for me. I don't own any other NARS palette. But there's something about this nine pan palette, it just was glorious. I think I've done like 4 or 5 different looks, maybe 6 with this. And that's pretty awesome for a 9 pan palette. So I love grungy glam, and these colors just did it for me. You see that? You know, nothing too original, but I mean, I just hope, I'm rooting for you, NARS. I just hope that they keep using this formula because I think it's fantastic. Let me get that one, and then this last one. And the mattes are pretty awesome too. So I just wanted to put that in there. I think some places you can still find this Climax palette. So rooting for you, NARS, that hopefully you have more of this formula and kind of curation next year. This came out towards the end, and this was a surprise for me. And the reason why is, like, I love this brand for the mattes, and this was a very original color curation from this brand that I've never seen. So Viseart, and I have a video for me doing this look, and I just love these smoky, romantic colors. This, and can you tell a certain aesthetic, like love the navies, purples, and the mattes for Viseart. They don't swatch all the best sometimes. Oops, sorry about that. Put this on the eyes, just smoky, beautiful, just like a sultry, glamorous. And it's called Paris Etoile. And sorry, maybe people can, Twilight maybe? Paris, it's just the aesthetics. I'm thinking it's Twilight. This is a beautiful palette, so pick that up. Also, Cashmere, this is one of my favorite palettes this year. I actually have it under my eyes. This can go really light or deep and smoky, depending on what you want to do. So I'm actually putting this palette in my project pan for this year, just because it's like an everyday palette. And I'm actually going to stick the NARS in there too, because I think it's just a wonderful, wonderful palette for a lot of different looks. And I have 2 more. The 2 that I have left are, of course, the Natasha Denona Retro palette. And I almost didn't get this because I thought it would look ashy on me, but I think I'm right in between where I can get away with some of what they call the top row, which was, I'm gonna flip it this way so you don't get flashed. So this row was concerning for people who have deeper skin tones, but I think I'm in that spot where I can get away with some of this, but it's just a glorious palette. I think this might edge out being my favorite Natasha Denona palette. Right now, Glam has the #1 spot, but I've been reaching for this more. So I think this might take the spot at this point this year. So definitely my favorite Natasha Denona palette. And then the last palette that I'm going to show is something that I actually do not know if it's available anymore. And you know, Ms. Myricks was not playing. She said this was limited edition, and then people were trying this and they were like, oh, I need to get it. And she's like, this is limited edition. And then as far as I know, it's not available anymore. And it is the Lightworks 3 palette. And I saw this, and she was premiering it, showing the swatches and using it on her Instagram lives. And I missed volumes 1 and 2. I don't remember what those looked like, but I saw her using this on Instagram live feeds, and it was glorious. And I'm not too familiar with duochromes and multichromes. I just started buying Cleona, but I have to say that I actually do like the quality of this better, because some of these are like super creamy, and it's just out of this world. I am so happy I got this palette, and I've done a lot of looks on this. And I actually reach for this palette a lot and mix it with others, including like Pat McGrath. So it's like almost like a marriage made in heaven with this formula. I don't touch that glitter shade though. Just, I have an aversion to glitter near my eye for safety issues. But look at how beautiful those are. And then these are supposed to be highlighters. I don't know if you can use them near your eye. Wouldn't recommend it, but these are just beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of the Cleona shades. And I'm sorry you can't see because it's so blown out, but let me swatch these here. These are highlighters with different shifts in color. So here, now you can see it more. So this has a blue shift, green, pink, and then just this like white. So these are just beautiful. And I've mixed this palette with other palettes when I want to amp it up or make it a little bit more editorial or edgy. And they're just so beautiful. So that's it for my faves of 2021. Let me know if you want to know any more about these products. I feel like social media, Instagram and YouTube is already saturated on a review of a lot of these products. Let me know if you're interested. If you haven't seen these products demoed on tan skin or a skin tone like mine, I'd be happy to do swatches for you, or if you want me to demo, just let me know. But that's it. I hope all of you had a restful end of 2021. We deserve it. And onwards to 2022. So I really hope there's lots of blessings and safety and health for all of you. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please consider doing so, commenting below, thumbs up, and then ringing the notification bell so that you can see the videos I upload between 2 and 3 times a week. And as always, please be very kind to yourself and others and just be you. And until the next video, I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.